the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Hey boo, hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, what it do? Coming through with the strength in you. You made it, good job. Strength in you, coming through. Strength in you, coming through. Hey boo.
Woo woo! Happy Monday! Yay, we made it through the weekend. Before I even begin, let me bring my king in on the scene because my queen is missing. But
What's up, everybody? Oh, yo, that background,
it's dope.
I like it. I
Make
like
you
it.
feel like you've been someplace special.
Well, I'm trying to in my head.
Well, good
How you
morning,
doing,
brother.
Miss Right?
Well, if you want me to be completely 100 today, I'm in a lot of pain. My elbow is on fire because I use this right hand for everything. So I think I'm developing tendonitis. So I'm in a lot of pain, but ain't nobody gonna know it because the one thing it couldn't steal from me.
It's my smile.
You better know. Say what you say when you say it, how you say it when you said
Yeah,
it.
today I've been. I feel right. Uh, Getting back into now that the whole hello, good morning.
Good morning, honey bun.
Um, Now that the move is like pretty much done, I had to told myself, all right, time to get back on your workout. So I went and worked out this morning. Went down the steps, did some crunches and did some push-ups. But like not working out for like a week is like, oh, and my body's like, yo, you remember we used to do this all the time? What happened?
Uh-huh. Yeah, can tell for sure. I feel you.
Uh,
I got on a treadmill. I did two. I did. I was finna lie and say 2 miles. It was actually 2 laps, so that was a half a mile. But I was
yeah,
gonna do some squats and stuff, but I had class to be fair. So I'm gonna get back into it. But good job on your working out because that's important. And I know it's hard to do it when you're trying to move and get your life in order. So long as you get
yeah.
back
Like
to it,
now that everything is done, like, it's a lot easier to get up, and that's the first thing on my mind. Like, I've noticed like when I do my workouts early, it kind of like sets the precedent for the rest of the day.
yeah,
So I'm able to do a lot more things because I'm like shocking my body right from the jump.
good job. Excellent. Before I even continue, y'all, let me encourage you right now. Head over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, click that bell so you get the notifications when we go live. Cause we be lit. We got a fun word of the day and an interesting topic today, but we're not gonna even go there yet. We're not gonna go with the topic. We're gonna play with this word of the day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit you with the switch up because sometimes you have to adapt, right? Because that's what we do as survivors. We adapt to situations. And I'm just gonna stall a little bit and give our queen a little chance to get in because she had a situation where she had to get a test done this morning. So she's good. Know that she's A1. But I'm just gonna give her a little chance. And while we wait for her, I'm gonna switch it up and switch over the floor. Hold on, because I got a surprise for him.
When you motivate, you elevate. Motivation. Let's go. When you
You see?
Okay.
No, wait.
uh,
No, wait before I let you motivate. I'm gonna catch you next time because I actually made a new song for you. But I must
okay.
upload it right. Stroke problems.
I'm like, it's like the same for the other week, but cool. What's up, everybody? Motivation time. It's quite easy today. It's getting back on the horse. I know sometimes life takes over, and things aren't planned, and even if things are planned, they take precedent over certain things that working out, like I mentioned to you earlier. So just getting back on the horse and making that commitment is like progress in itself. You don't need to go out and kill it your first day. Just go out there and get moving. Get your body used to you moving again, and it becomes easier with time. I know I thought packed on. There we go. A couple of pounds because of the holidays, and I love my sweets. So I'm having to adjust to getting serious and back on a diet again. Um, which is like harder for us as stroke survivors, right? Because like it's like really easy to like just chill and not like do much, and totally acceptable. Really, if that's what you do, then more power to you. But that's not in my DNA to like just sit and do nothing. So, um, just getting back on that horse. I have a quote. Do I have a quote? I do have a quote. Hold on. I was not expecting to come with motivation time this early. But I should have seen that curveball coming because you were like, I'm gonna stop for time. I was like, she's gonna go to me.
You Paul, what I tell you, you gotta stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready.
True. But like there's a thing with the quote how is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Today's quote is happiness is not something ready made. It comes from your own actions. So don't think happiness is gonna come uh ready to give you what you want. Like when does life do that ever, really? Uh
Right.
but just making that first step, like I said today with the working out, making that like set the precedent for the rest of the day where I'm in a really good mood now. Like I wasn't super totally in my like junior ready to go when I got up, but I worked out, I took some action, and now I feel great. So just get back on that horse if you feel like you're not pushing yourself or doing what you have to do. You just make that initial effort, and things will get a lot easier with time. So that's my motivation time for today, and we go back to strength. Ooh, okay, not that serious.
I'm gonna give me a crowd screaming in the background so when you
Yeah,
go motivation.
yeah. Like, all right, calm down.
No, but you was spitting straight facts right there. It ain't easy either, but you just gotta do it. And you gotta want it bad enough to just get up and take them itty bitty steps and it'll go far. So that was big and that was real. Let's get on with it. Cause I got a fun one for
The
you.
word of the day, don't wait, educate.
I
Okay.
was wanting to hear it twice. I don't know why.
I'm working on a new theme song for that too, because I am the girl who like to make jingles and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's fun.
the queen of jingles, Joy Downer.
Yes. Call me anytime. No, but I got a fun word.
Ooh,
See?
cre-
Let's try to see.
crepuscular,
That's what I was
quest,
gonna say. Crepuscular.
crepuscular, crepuscular, crepuscular.
Crepuscular. Let me find
Crep.
out. We about to find out. Because
Yeah,
we is butchering the hell.
I know I am.
I know I was, so it's okay. They don't understand that we all go through it. Wait a minute, y'all, because I don't forget what I was doing. Stroke frog.
You're bringing a definition.
Right. I'm gonna bring that definition up next. But hold up. I got y'all. Bow. And I was gonna say at some point I wanted to come through Monday, Wednesday, April 10th. Uh-uh. Here we go. You
Oh,
ready?
let's go.
Crepuscular.
Crepuscular. I
Crepuscular.
was right.
I
Crepuscular.
was it.
Crepuscular. So it
I was
is
close.
of
I was close.
yeah, you was close. But for once I got one that you didn't get.
Yeah, I know.
Of resembling or relating to Twilight.
Like the movie.
You know what? No, like you darn, like I can't take you. You just what's your definition, sir?
My definition of an animal appearing or active in twilight.
Okay, we need more. That ain't enough. Okay. Crepuscular animals are most active in the twilight. So they're gonna just keep
Well,
using
there goes
this.
my sentence I was going to use. Jesus Christ. The crepuscular hours when the sky turns deep red and purple are my favorite time to walk along the lake. Let me read it again. The crepuscular hours, when the sky turns deep red and purple, are my favorite times to walk along the lake.
Okay, let's see. Deer rabbits, bears, skunks, bobcats, and even possums are generally considered to be crepuscular. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got it. Okay, let me see. My sentence is gonna be um
I love how you were like, I think I got it in like a double dutch. Just do it.
because you
I
gotta
think I
be
got it.
fun.
I think I got it.
You gotta be fun. You get intimidated, but you think you got
Yeah,
it. Okay, okay. The crepuscular hours are the times when I want to chill and watch a movie and do nothing.
that's a good one. The vascular time of day is my favorite time of day.
Okay, I think we that those are good ones. I think I got another one. Talk about an animal. Hold on. In the crepuscular hours, them damn skunks be in my trash
Why you gotta say damn skunks?
because they get on my nerve.
um, when I'm chilling, I like it to be crepuscular outside.
No, no, that's good. That's a good one. Don't look
I
at me.
really tried.
But let's hit it, y'all. You know, Black History didn't stop in February. We coming into another month, still talking about it like. But no, I got two for you. And this first one, oh, I got to do something with this blur. You can see the Haitian Revolution,
Yeah.
1791 to 1804. What they gonna tell us? Successful anti-slavery and anti-colonial insur- insurrection overthrowing the French led to the West pulling out of the institution of slavery throughout America. Only slave uprising that led to the founding of a state free from slavery and ruled by non-whites and former captives. What state is that? Self-liberated slaves destroyed slavery, fought to preserve their freedom, and with the collaboration of mulattoes, found the sovereign state of Haiti. Okay, so I need to go live there. Challenge
Yo,
long.
hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
One
I
more,
was.
one more, one more. Challenge long held beliefs about black inventory and enslaved persons' captivity, no capacity to achieve and maintain freedom. That is the Haitian Revolution. So that's, I guess, how Haiti was born.
I had no idea.
Me either. And now I'm learning a lot. Now I want to go and visit over there and
Well,
see what it's like.
yeah. Well, I don't want to say Haiti.
I want.
Uh,
I'm black in here, so I just
I
want to go
am
see what it's
too,
like. I
but
didn't say I want to go live. Just want to go visit. It's like going to Africa. I want to go there to visit
why?
because I want to see what it's like in the motherland. Like I just imagine it being all green, and I imagine Jumanji running across the fields, and
You know what? You're down bad for that. I swear to God. I can just imagine it's like Jumanji out there.
right. That's what
That was borderline racist. But
no,
we had a
no. It
comment.
got all the animals. It got the zebras and the lions and the elephant. It got the everything that we got in captivity, roaming free. That's
Yo,
all.
listen. I love that you try to justify your racism,
There is no
but
racism, fool.
go on to the Facebook user that uses blackout curtains to make my room combustible.
I love that.
It's
Who
a
is
really
this
good
over here
sentence.
doing these? Okay.
I saw that. That's why I was like, "Ooh, that's a." Oh, never mind. Talk about the French Revolution a little bit more.
But no, that is dope to find out that that's where Haiti was born and that was the revolution. And
Yeah,
yeah, I really want to go and see what it's like because I live in a diverse country, but it's not really diverse when it comes to people that look like me. So I want to go where it's people, it's all like me, and just see what it's like. See if it differs at all. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's gonna differ, I can imagine.
but even us who look like us got borderline issues with one another, and there's hatred and all that other stuff. So it's like, is it still the same stuff just with people that look like you? But I don't know that. I just want to go see what it's like. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's get it, y'all. One more. Don't leave me yet. 1968, the Olympics, Black Power Fist. Wait, is it gonna show you? It ain't gonna show you.
It's like a second, but there you go. Just put it in front of your face. And I'm being serious. It works.
Okay, there we go. Y'all heard about this Black Power Fist. It was so much stuff going on in the news about this. What was that? A few years ago. Um, Demonstrated conducted by African American athletes Tommy Smith and John Carlos after winning the gold and bronze medals. Each athlete raised a black glove fist and kept them raised until the national anthem was finished. Then they wore human right badges on their jackets. Over and above winning medals, these athletes were named for themselves by an act of racial protest. The raising of the Black Power fist stood for those against political and racial injustice in America. Smith and Carlos received death threats from racist Americans for making the gesture, and the gesture and American backlash can be compared to modern day feelings of the Colin Kilpatrick who kneeled during the national anthem for similar reasons. Which just goes to show you can't please the masses. Somebody gonna always have a problem if you don't believe in what they believe and you do something differently than what they do. So the fact of that goes, just do what you feel is right in your heart, believe in yourself, and trust the process, whatever that looks like. If you got something you want to stand for, stand on that. And that's just what I believe in. What you think, brother?
Um, I agree. I like that way of like raising the fist, other than like kneeling. In my personal opinion, um, I think you can still make an impact like those guys did with that gesture, the kneeling, and really pissing off a lot of like Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really, if you think about it, man, like not to like get too much off course here, but we have it pretty good in this country. A lot of people don't want to admit that for
Yeah,
whatever reason, but like we do. We don't have to worry about. We can say what we want to say. We can do whatever we want to do for
to
the
a
most
degree.
part.
To a degree. I don't agree with that. They say you can, and it's a freedom of speech and all this, but that's not 100% true.
But
As soon
in
as you
like
piss somebody off,
certain countries, like you're not even allowed to even speak your mind at all. So I don't know. You gotta take the go with the bad, right? And I don't want to divulge too much as a whole other topic for
right?
a whole other day. But yeah, like what I was getting at was you can make an impact and you can make a statement without really pissing off a lot of people. Even though that fist
I
did
was gonna say
raise
it
up a
still
lot of
pissed off people.
controversy.
So I think what you're saying is you can make a statement without being belligerent, being loud, being obnoxious, screaming
Yeah, yeah,
about it,
yeah,
yelling and breaking stuff and breaking in people's stuff and killing and all those different type of things. They made an impact by kneeling and putting up a fist.
yeah.
That said nothing, but it spoke everything. You know what I'm saying? So let's go with that. I love that. But no, let's get right into this topic. I guess it's still not backstage, but it don't matter because it still need to be talked about because it's really a thing. It's gonna be kind of a heavy topic, and let me remind you, this is our season finale, y'all. Yes, can you believe it? Already the
Season two.
the 15th episode. Oh my god, it went so fast. That is also another thing and a key to remember in life. Time don't wait on nobody. It comes and it goes just like that. So the things that you want, you have to go for it. It is not promised tomorrow. You don't know what's gonna happen, and it just changes in the blink of an eye. So be persistent and just go for what you want. Be driven, be tenacious, be inspired to motivate yourself to keep going. Whew.
Whew, now that that's out the way, you just came back.
Where
I
I
know what
come
that
back
means.
from, boo? What happened? Tell us more. And I like to give people shout outs because we appreciate you taking the time to watch our show and listening and all that good stuff. So whenever you get a chance to comment on our topics, our word of the day, our quotes, anything we say or do, it is greatly appreciated because I would love to give you your crown and your flowers while you're still right here for me to give them to you. So speak up, baby.
Yeah. Um. This topic, like to be real, like to our people watching live, um, and those with the hashtag replay, I see y'all. Um, I almost didn't want to do this episode because, personally, I'm not gonna get into it on this episode, but I can relate to that topic, and I didn't know how I would feel about it, to be honest. And I called Joy about it, and I was like, I don't know. But a big part of what we do here is strength and having the strength to do and push back to what you're not comfortable doing, right? So,
Absolutely.
just being here for me is a step in the right direction uh, towards my healing overall. So, I just want to preface, if I'm quiet during the rest of this episode, you kind of know why. So I wanted to preface before we even start talking. I wanted to be real with y'all and just kind of get that out
That's his disclaimer, y'all. He letting you know.
there. Yeah.
I appreciate that though. And I'm gonna say without saying too much, I appreciate you for still wanting to even tune in to this episode because I know it is it's close to your heart and your experiences. So kudos to you that takes the strength in you to push through. You came through, boo.
That's what we
Yeah.
do here, right? So I can't sit here and preach, you have the strength in you from not showing up for things that don't make me comfortable. I mean, to a certain extent, right? To a certain
Right,
extent.
right.
Um, but this is a topic that not only is the season 2 finale, um, it's a topic I want to be on board with because I'm a man, and this is having to do with men. So you would like, what kind of episode would this be if you were leading it and there was no men at all?
Right.
It would be weird.
Yes, that would definitely be weird. But I handle it like a G because come through. But no, like I said, I'm proud of you because it takes strength to do what you're doing right now. And I just see you. So I see you, bro. Know that I see you.
Thank
But-
you.
so guys, know today is a heavy hitter, but like I said, it's the season finale, and we're talking about male molestation. And the only reason we need to talk about this is because I feel like it's not talked about enough. Even just searching it when I was trying to get my little research on, they wasn't talking about males. It was females and women and girls. And it's like, okay, I get it because it happened to me. I get it. It happens to us more, but it don't change the fact that it happens to boys too and young men and everything. And it's like so many things men have to sweep under the rug and they don't get to say. And I'm trying to create an avenue where number one, they feel safe enough to be human, not a man or a woman, just human who've been through something and they need a platform to say it's okay, you're good, you're safe, and we got your back. And that's what this is. So, like I said, it was crazy because searching it, it said 1 in 6, but that was still women. It
Hmm.
couldn't tell me how many of those is men. But then it went on to say college men are the ones who experience it the most. That don't mean it don't happen to young men. That just mean what's told. Because you got to remember, especially if you're a person of color, your household probably taught you we don't say, we don't talk about certain things. So
Hmm.
little boys who've experienced things that may have been traumatic to their mental didn't get to say, because people said to little color kids, you don't get to cry, you don't get to say, you don't. Did you experience that at all, Wisdom?
I like to a certain extent, like
So
you
you got to
don't,
say.
yeah, you are pretty much like told not to talk about certain things without saying it outright,
Mm-hmm.
right? You get little tidbits here and there. It's like, oh, we don't talk about that, or that's frowned upon. We
Mm-hmm.
don't deal with that. And I know as a young man, we kind of live in this society where, like, amongst men, you don't talk about it. You
Right.
like, it's kind of looked at like we reality and the situation kind of morphed into, oh, I wish I was that kid, or as guys, like we kind of like idolize it instead of looking at the situation for what it is and
Now wait.
saying
You
that's
just
not
said
okay.
you just said something though. You said most men or little boys they idolize it because they don't see it for what it is. So is that because boys are taught that if you getting a girl, no matter how you getting it,
Yeah,
that's what your
well,
goal is?
that's part of it, and like you know, in the moment, right? Like it's such a cool thing, right? Like you're the cool kid on the block. And it's not until years later when you're like, oh, that was kind of messed up. Really, if you think about it, right? So
Okay. Okay.
in the moment, you kind of like you do whatever for whatever the hormones or whatever the case takes over. But looking back on it, you're like, oh, that was okay. I should have said something. But again, you're not allowed to really
Speak on
talk
it.
about your feelings or
Right.
like speak your truth onto certain things because like I said, it's easier sometimes to ignore it than confront it. In my
Right.
opinion,
That makes sense, especially because you're a boy. And when you say certain things, you were taught that you're a punk or you weak or you call these names and it breaks you down. And because you're a boy, people don't really see that as a problem. It's like, oh, that's just a boy. You know what I'm saying? But they would never call a little girl a punk if she come and tell those same feelings. So it's
yeah.
like, let's call it what it is. Let's maybe hopefully change that scenario because boys need to be taught about safe touches and not told that they're punks when they feel uncomfortable with what somebody did or said or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I was like looking at all these different statistics and stuff with the boys. This is stuff from like 1998. We're in 2023. Can you imagine how those numbers have changed drastically and how many more little boys have been brought up to feel like I can't say we don't talk about that. We don't do that.
Like I'll say this. I'll say this, and this is the first time I actually talk about this without going too deep onto
Right.
whatever it is. But I remember when I was young, and I'm not gonna out anybody, but the older female was telling me I had to take a shower, right? And that older female was looking after us or whatever. And kid takes a quick bullshit shower. Half the time we don't take a proper one. We just want to get it over with, right?
Right.
Um,
Stinking ass.
but boys will be boys, right? Kids
No, I
will be
feel you.
kids.
Yeah.
And like I remember, like being naked in front of this person, and that person like being okay with them. Like something inside me was like, this ain't right. Like
Okay.
I shouldn't be naked in front of this person. But it wasn't talked about. It was kind of like once it moved past, it was nothing happened, but like something inside of me like told me, Junior, this is not okay. But I was growing up. I didn't have my voice here. I didn't find my voice, until I was damn near an adult already. So,
So,
uh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, can I just ask how old were you? That's all I want to ask.
Oh, like 8, 9 years
Okay.
old.
So then I only asked that because that just proves kind of one of my points of how important it is to teach safe touches at an early age. But hold on, guys, we got one of our special guests in the background. Ow.
What's up with everyone? How you
How you
doing?
doing?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
How you
Chilling,
doing, honey
chilling.
love? Let the people know who you
Oh,
is.
you
I don't
gotta
want to.
respect
I
me.
want to steal your shine.
Hey, I'm.
Well, take out. Hold on, before you start, take out the word of the day, and then
I seen
his
that.
name will.
I seen it
But
said.
I wanted him to play with the word of the day too. Don't be hating on my
It
word.
sounded like it said crepuscular, like something's creeping into your muscular system. I saw the word too. I said crepuscular.
Crepusculous.
Oh, see me. You know me with word
I
crepuscular.
know. I
That
love
sound
it.
almost as horrific.
Tell them all about you, sir.
Oh
Tell them
well,
your name and where you hail in from.
yes, I'm Roy Anthony from Long Beach / Kansas City, Quindaro area. Represent Long Beach to the fullest, Quindaro to the fullest. You can Google me, comedian Roy Anthony. Um, I was say entrepreneur, producer, actor, stand-up comedian, and stuff. So we run a. I have a nice little podcast, and grateful to always know survivalists like Cynthia and Mr. Wisdom here, and when I was listening to y'all earlier, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay. So you can Google me, as both say. I get to talking, I start feeling like I'm being vain. So I just try to.
No, it's all good. We just want.
Yes.
I want you to give them a little bit of your shine and your flavor, so they can feel a little
Oh
bit of
yeah,
Roy come
most
through the
definitely.
screen on them with the catch.
Yeah, just that smile alone should be able to tell them that's all right this way, baby.
Right.
Mhm.
And so,
Well, look,
so
I ain't gonna hold you because I know you're a busy man. You wear so many hats, so we're just gonna get right on into this
oh
thing.
yeah, no problem. Yes,
Okay. Well, we're talking about male molestation today. And
yes,
it's important to bring this topic up because I don't feel like the light has been shined on it and people sweeping under the rug what's happening to little boys. And it's just important that we start talking about these things so we can address it and hopefully change some stuff.
yes.
So I know
Well, yeah,
you had an experience with this kind of situation, correct?
yes. And it was a trip is that when me and Big Hank met, and we met kind of like 2015, 16, but when we start talking, having our shows, and you find out about each other, and found out he went through something as similar as I did.
Hmm.
Now, I experienced molestation, but thank God it wasn't through men. Um,
Yeah.
it was when I was 5. I was babysitted by supposed to be distant cousins, and they was all women, and so it became like a norm. I was doing acts of fellatio and having sex. You know what I'm saying? I remember being groped to get myself. To get me. Like, wow, I didn't know this happens, right?
Hmm.
And it went on until I was 8, and I never pictured that. I never knew it was molestation
Right.
until I got to college.
Wow.
I
So
was,
you
yeah,
went all the way through elementary and high school and didn't find
yeah,
out until college.
and I was considered being mannish
Huh.
because I didn't want the typical girlfriend. Then, when I'm 10, 11, most girlfriend kids, they hugging or something, barely even holding hands, right? Where I'm
Hmm.
trying to like
You
do,
try to get in
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
feel me? And it became like that to where I wasn't good with no relationships throughout high school. No girls
Okay.
want to be with me, but I'm trying to get it on. And if you
Right.
ain't doing it, then I'm gonna step over to here. Like LL Cool J said, then she got a big old butt. Somebody's gonna be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But what happened is I never get I was at Wichita State University. I'm a Phi Beta Sigma there. And we was in the dormitory, in the they got the activity room. If you're in the dormitory, you can go and everybody's socializing and stuff. And they was having a conversation piece about, do you remember when you lost your virginity? Kind of like a J. Cole song of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in the room they was either 17 or 18 or 16 when they lost, right? So when it got to me, I realized I was like, hey, well, my story ain't the same. I lost mine when I was 5. And they said 5. So I tried to make, I'm such a cool person. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been knocking boots for a long time, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, that's, yeah, I'm a professional at this, sugar. But this one, never get the student way she said it. She said, that's a shame. You don't even know you've been molested.
Hmm.
At first, I got
Mm.
offended, you know, because I was looking at like, ain't nobody been in my ass.
Right.
You
That's
know
what
what I'm
you took
saying?
molestation as.
Yes, because I
Makes
heard
sense.
stories of little boys being done by dudes.
Right. Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like she said, Roy, you was 5. These were 18, 17, 21, and a 10, 11-year old when I was 5. And didn't know. I thought it was a norm.
Yeah.
And when I realized, well, first thing I thought to myself, "Ooh, thank God it wasn't no man."
Right.
it's I feel sorry because I had a couple of partners, not laughing at them, but that
Right.
was just my thought.
Right.
My mechanism of my personal trait. People call me a passive aggressor because I tend to make light of something, but I'm taking it really to heart and serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I started seeing this, especially when I had my own kids. I wouldn't let men hold my daughter, especially when she's, a little young and they want to put her on the lap. No, and ain't none of that. I ain't taking to see
Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus. You ain't sitting on no man's lap.
Right.
You tell Santa Claus if you want to see Santa Claus, you stand and tell him to his face while he's sitting there. You look him in the face. You ain't sitting on the lap and leaning like what you want, little girl. No, it ain't none of that.
Right.
And I start being protective over that because I didn't realize until I got about 10 years older from college that was something that someone took from me, a classic memory. Like when
Right.
I listen to J. Cole, I'm like, wow, that sounds so classic, right? That's something that was stripped of me.
It was stolen from you.
Yeah. And but you don't realize it until I'm older. I can just imagine what a child is going through thinking that this is a norm.
Now I'm not being funny. 'Cause I'm not trying to call you old as hell, but like what I'm trying to ask is, did they not, did they not for real? Did they not have sex ed for real in high school for you?
Well, it is, they did. I'm not that
So
back in
you just
school.
didn't
Yeah.
register it like that
Yeah,
just
because
because
I
it wasn't your
mean,
mind frame at the time.
well, because the thing is, in the urban thing, you a cool dude, and
Yeah.
being in my neighborhood as a young dude, I'm the oldest between me and my brother. The bigger guys out there is my influentials.
Right.
So when I'm seeing them, and in my neighborhood, you got the billboard with the cool cigarettes, and the dude is with his girl. You know what I'm saying? They looking sexy, smoking cigarettes. And I got the dudes that I'm actually the older guys who I'm looking up to, and that's all they talking about. I'm doing this, I'm kicking it, this and this and that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm right in the same with them.
That makes sense.
So then when I was 8, I done learned how to shoot craps, play tunk, shoot pool, because I feel like I'm on that same mind stream. I don't at this point, I don't know what it is to look at magazines or something like that. It was already there.
The real deal.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, I was young to where, at my age, you couldn't get Jimmy hats as easy as they did when I was a kid.
Right.
We used to have to go to the juke house and sneak in their bathroom and put 50 cents in there to get a condom out the machine. You said didn't give it to you as freely as it did.
Okay.
And so, but going through with molestation, like I said, when you're a young kid and you're trying to be influential to the older kids in your neighborhood, because I lived in the hoods,
Right.
it seemed like it's a cool thing to be.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older and educated, matter of fact, I confronted one of the ladies.
Okay.
Back in '96, I was at a gas station. And she had the nerves to come up and say, "Praise the Lord, young man. I heard you do well in comedy." And I said, "You dirty whoop whoop the wham. I remember what you did." And
Mm-hmm.
she couldn't say nothing. She couldn't say nothing because I'm that sin that that she probably ain't asked God to forget.
Mm-hmm.
Probably done married, got a couple other kids, but knowing that she got that in her back. And so I started taking on my own. If I can go through that, little kids right now probably won't say nothing because I never shared it with my mother because I was told, you tell your mother, she gonna whoop your butt. My mother was known to whoop my butt
So, at what age did you have the courage to say something to somebody else?
when I was in college.
No, I mean like to say something to your mother.
I have never did.
Even to this day, you never said anything.
Yeah, because to me, you know, to be honest, with both y'all, anybody's paying attention. I I was, coming through the hoods. There's some things that I said I go to my grave with knowing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
know, if I just say I'm not gonna go into details like I am now, I
Right.
probably wouldn't go into details again unless it's very just you my sister. So it was for me to share. Anybody else, I'd be like, hey, just that's just a dark episode. Let's move on.
Right.
With my mother and them, you know, they kind of know of it, but it didn't affect me till I found it affected a couple of other cousins. Going through the same thing. Let them deal with it. Me, I, I just sit back and listen. I don't have to express and say, hey, I did that too. Like
Right.
Terry Crews, when the women were suing Hollywood for sexual harassment, he's sitting up there too. Now you want to speak up because a man grabbed him by his nuts. You should have spoke up when the man grabbed you by your nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like there's certain things that I know, even in Hollywood, in LA right now, there's certain things I would never, I take it to my grave. It's not
Right.
expedient to be told, but I will express, as you know, I'm a purveyor of bringing it to people who abuses kids.
Right.
You know, I I don't have to. I feel like that's just me. I don't know. It doesn't hinder me. I'm aware of it. I'm strong of it, and I don't keep it hid. Put it under a rug. It's just that I don't expose it out as much and go into intimate details as I've had at this moment.
Right.
And that goes to, I want to say, first of all, extremely courageous for you to do that. Like, I remember losing my virginity at 12 and not
Yes,
having to realize it until later on in life. Oh, that wasn't okay. I wasn't allowed to really be
yes,
a kid, right? And then
yes,
growing up the way we didn't talk about it. Like, that's not like how you doing. Like, I didn't talk about it to my mom. I didn't talk about it to nobody. And amongst my friends, I was like the cool kid, right?
yes,
Oh, Junior got his early, but it wasn't until years later that I was like, oh, I should have like that should have been a red flag right there,
Right.
or this hindered me because you don't know what is how it's gonna affect you later on in life, right? Like you
yeah,
don't know what damage it's gonna take, and that goes to like tell me how many other men went through the same thing and didn't say anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
And take it to the grave, like you said,
yes.
to this day.
yeah. Go ahead, Roy.
Because wisdom, sir, you right. I see why they call you wisdom, because you're absolutely um right on that. And with me coming through the hoods, that was the least of my concern. I
Hmm.
lost my childhood friend stabbed to death when I was 14. It was hard for me to understand. Now, to this day, I got him. He's tattooed on my arm. But to this day, he should have been the stand-up comedian. So, he was the one. He was the funny guy. He was known, and I was the sidekick.
Yeah,
And when he got killed, it seemed like that type of part of my life overtook everything else.
you had
Yeah,
That
that
was the
priority.
least
trauma.
of my concern.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
had
that was like
priority.
the
Yeah,
least of your problems
yes,
at that point.
because I was I was in the horror of the crack pandemic when it started. When all of a sudden, out the blue, seemed like there's this crack out, and then it was just mayhem,
Yeah,
and going through that, seeing homies dying left and right. At this time, when my partner got killed, crack wasn't involved. It was just that it was a sad feeling, and it hurt, but that hurt never could compound to all the different ones I seen. It seemed becoming a norm. So when I was going through this type of stuff in the hood, it seemed like the molestation part was the least of my concern.
that makes sense. But y'all, you said something that make I want people to really like pay attention to. Two things.
Hmm.
Education changed it.
Yes,
You need to be educated in order to learn and grow. You ain't gonna know
yes,
nothing if you ain't educated.
yes.
Then you didn't say nothing. You're gonna take it to your grave. That means you didn't speak up. That's them households and how we've been running them. So I guess I'm saying that to say, allow your boys to speak up. Don't tell them that they punks or that they shouldn't have feelings or none of these things, because here's a prime example. Two men that's telling you certain things they don't get to say. They didn't feel like they could. And one is gonna take it to his grave because he didn't feel like there was a point. So we have to change that.
Well, a lot of times men don't come together to have
Yeah,
conversations
little
like this,
powwows.
like the ladies do. You may go get your hair done. Ladies don't mind coming together and socialize. Guys come together. We kicking the bobo. We playing dominoes. We drink,
But
and
if you would talk different and say it's okay to let that guard down, you'll feel comfortable with your homeboys.
well, we have
You and
brought it
Wiz
up.
can sit and
Trust
shoot
me,
shit.
we have brought it up. But
Okay.
some guys have a deeper hurt
Okay. Right.
than where some of us, like I said, it wasn't no guy never involved. I've never
Right.
been in a gay situation.
Mm-hmm.
I was the guy that cast was leery. I smiled and stuff, but that was my moniker. That's why they used to call me the KC, the killer clown, because I laughed in my battles. It was a mechanism.
Uh-huh.
Even in my household, the fighting and stuff, I found myself sometimes just laughing. They thought I was 5150. But some guys have been through some where they was raped and
Yeah.
plundered by men.
It's
And
different.
so when you bring up that, it kind of puts it where I don't like, it's kind of hard to be around guys, to just be honest. And all of a sudden you're like, "Woo, I'm glad I didn't go through that."
Yeah.
So that's where it makes it where off scale, because there's a lot of guys that I know, they share with me.
Right.
And sometimes it got a little, I don't like it, or one-on-one. One of the homies one day was over there, we was chilling back, and he decides to share this conversation with me. And I'm like, "Hey, dude, I don't want to have that conversation with you,
Yeah.
because I don't know in the back of his eyes if it's something that he liked, and let's relive it again." It ain't happening. You feel? I'm just being honest.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
If you're gonna do a group thing and everybody's like talking, but when you come and you want to share with me one-on-one, that's a little bit too intimate. I kill that, because I don't need, for real. Hey man, this guy made me suck on his penis, and now
You want to try?
yeah.
I hate y'all.
There, I'm like,
Well,
okay,
like
dude.
one thing I was listening, and this is like an old adage that they
Yeah.
say comedians usually have a really fucked up childhood or
Oh
like
yeah.
a really fucked up like
Yeah.
bringing up, and
Yeah.
the more comedians I meet, the more true it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like you don't meet a comedian that had a great life growing up,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna be ever be funny
Yeah.
or
I
relatable because
You
like you
that's
have to
true.
absolutely
go
right.
through some shit.
That's
Man, you're
very
absolutely
true.
right. I mean, a lot of people look at me and they think, "Oh, my family always say, Roy, they need to do a book about you." I mean, for real. I've been a hustler all my life, but I hustle to where I can take care of my family. You know, um, I've been where a person looks at me now, oh, he ain't never been through. The thing is, I've been through. I just was like, hey, when you're going through stuff where, um, especially in the hood, I had a mechanism to get away. My mechanism to escape was, believe it or not, Scooby Dooby Doo and Bugs Bunny cartoons. And I will force myself to laugh at things. So next you know, it becomes like a mechanism. Every time something happens, I'm like, for real? Oh man. Whew. I'm not laughing at the situation. That's my body my now I look serious as could be when something happened. And all of a sudden it's just this laughter part.
Yeah,
And so
That's your coping mechanism.
yeah.
exactly. And I've had a few people, oh, you have you what they call it? I was just saying it, um where passive aggressive.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
That's what they call me a lot because I will make light, but I take it everything serious. So when
Jeff
what you
said,
said,
"Smile has so much pain."
that part, Jeff is completely right because it's even on my arm, tattooed in big letters. Laugh now, then cry later.
Hmm.
I told you before one time on a show, I, I won't. I'm the one who ain't gonna shed a tear, but later on, I'm probably in the fetal position on my covers, crying like a mud.
See, and I'm
Hmm.
the opposite. I'm gonna cry real quick and then be cracking up later.
Because I feel that somebody got to have clear eyes in the midst of
That's true.
situation.
That's definitely true.
And then when everything is the dust, everyone's comfortable. Because I'm a person who secures everything
Okay.
around me, my
Yeah.
kids, I like to. I'm the one in the middle of the night who's gonna go and check all the doors, make sure everything is straight, and then I go into sleep. But I'm a probably cry or I go into my own little spot.
Yeah.
When I go, I told you before, when I go to a funeral service, I wear shades because I don't like to have the appearance of tears that's coming out my eyes. That's just me. But yes, what you said, Mr. Wisdom, um, well, thing with my comedy, and I think that's what it is from the pain, is that my heart don't want to see you go through no pain. Whatever pain you're going through, I want to let you know, hey, let's make light of it. That's
Right.
why I'm
Hmm.
in the pity of my jokes. In my heart, I don't want you to ever feel what I've been through. You know, my kids, I tell them, y'all way better than me. I don't tell them you're going to be better than me. I say, you're way better than me at this age,
Mm-hmm.
where it was survival for me. And I said, Lord, it helped me times when people don't know I was hungry. Even in LA, 2006, I'm too hungry. You can't borrow none because ain't you Roy Auntie? Why you don't have no money? You feel me? Like your name supposed to give you an automatic visa or a dinner plate. And so then, like we were saying earlier, when you're going through so much other stuff, my mechanism and my therapy is the stage. I'm better with people on the stage than I am when I get off the stage and I have to actually socialize with them eye to eye. Is hard.
Yeah.
But I can talk on the molestation. It's just that I sometimes I don't. like to be with a whole bunch of guys and hey, let's talk about it. Next thing you know,
He say, it's hard to find that place of pain when you start to heal. Trust. You don't like to go back there and it serves no purpose.
that's my exact point. It's not relevant. I can just say, hey, well, the station bad. That's why I'm against pedophiles.
Right.
I don't deal with pedophiles. I don't deal with
But you know,
rapists.
it does serve a purpose. And that's what y'all got to remember. It serves a purpose. The purpose is to prevent the future generations going through what you go through. See, so many years have went by of people not saying that it continues to grow. It's getting worse and worse over time because nobody is saying, because they're like, there's no purpose in saying. Well, the
Yeah,
purpose is to raise awareness because these women are dropping these kids off with these girls thinking that they're safe because they're thinking that these girls are like them.
yes,
But these women are not like you. Everybody not, you can't
but
trust
there's
everybody, or everybody who
yeah,
claim to be your friend ain't your friend, and you can't just drop your kids off with anybody. You know what I mean? But we
yeah.
got to speak on it.
But there's certain mechanisms now that you be aware of. Now that's what I tell them kids, especially touching Philly. No, no, no. You know, just like I was talking about the teachers, they was talking
Mhm.
about passing a law where teachers can talk sexuality with the kids, and the kids don't have to tell their parents. I said that seemed like a start of a trait of molestation, and because what we need to teach our kids is, for one, we are authorities to kids. So kids, other grown-ups use a mindset. It's always been a mindset, even with the races, it's always a mindset. Mess with your mind, make you think you're a slave.
Mhm.
You become a slave. You tell kids, I'm gonna tell your parents, they're gonna be disappointed in you. No, don't do that. Children need to have confidence in their parents to tell them anything, because what they think might be innocent, especially giving kids candy. When I was a kid, they used to say, ice cream truck dude pull up, talking about, hey, I'm gonna give y'all some ice cream. Come on in here. Don't you get in that van.
Yeah.
You don't go talk to strangers.
The pain is like
This guy.
Mexico, a great place to visit. You just don't want to live there.
Yeah,
That's absolute facts, but you
yeah.
still got to speak on. You
But
got
you
to
gotta
call
have
it.
Yeah.
mechanisms. It's not to say, me, I ain't gonna, oh yeah, I've been molested. It's just mechanism we teach the children and other parents. Sit down. Don't make the kids. My children knew how to talk with me. And I talk, even my daughter, she's 15. I say, hey, nobody ain't touched you, nothing like that. I don't care who it is. And she said, no, because I told them, hey, talk with me. One of the things sometimes parents bypasses the kids so they can take care of some other standards, and the child feels like it's a waste of time to say anything because kids gets depressed.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I think if you start with mechanisms of teach, I heard you say knowing how to someone touch you a certain way,
safe touches. That's important.
isolating you away from everybody else. That's one of the main things you don't do. If you need to talk to a child, talk to them in front of other children so the other children know. When you
They hear the
isolate
same
a kid and put
thing.
them to the side, that makes you know what I'm saying? There is no best. Nobody,
Hmm.
everybody stayed behind class and raced the chalkboard.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
I don't think sexuality should be taught in a classroom.
oh,
I
none at
think the
all.
same way parents have the bird and the bees talk, it's just they should talk about safe
Yeah,
touching and things like that because like
totally
kids
agree.
don't know, and if you don't teach kids, we're gonna find out from our friends or other places that you might not agree with in the long term. So
Yeah,
I think parents have to get rid of that stigma. Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
you have to tackle these inappropriate conversations because you, the schools are gonna do it. Somebody else is gonna do it, and it's not
yeah,
gonna align with the way you want to teach your
Jeff
kids.
said he's been molested. That's part of his story.
yeah. You
That is
see,
a
I think kids need to be. You ever seen the movie? When I was a kid, I seen a movie called The Blue Lagoon, and it was a shipwreck, and Brooke Shields and they on this island trying to survive, and they was 12.
mhm.
Like, and then they as they got older, 17, 18, the humanistic part started coming in. Nowadays, when you're teaching the kids, especially the push for kids to identify as gender, you're a boy, but you may be a girl. This is what you'll teach. Let's teach these kids to be economics.
Yeah, that's
If
a
we
whole
took
nother
history
conversation.
out, you don't want to say, let's teach economics, how to create businesses, how to build cell phones, stuff like that. We're going to have a class on how to build cell phones today.
Yeah, no,
That
that
type of situation.
that'd
With
be
me,
stuff that they need to teach that take you into entrepreneurship and not
yeah,
just working for the man or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just,
exactly.
How to balance a checkbook. Like there's
right.
other things you can
Exactly.
teach kids.
That
But
part.
at the
Credit.
end of
How
the
to
day,
keep
this is
your
why it's
credit under
important for us
30%.
as the village, y'all. That's why it's important for us as the village to speak up for these kids because everybody don't have the best parent.
Isn't that
So
what's caused this
sometimes,
problem? The village is what caused the problem.
no, but I mean, I'm talking about the right village, okay? The
It was the village
protected
that was
village.
watching us.
If I can say anything to the parents and the people who care
Yes,
about kids, it is to be open and honest with these children. Allow them to speak to you about things that's
yes.
uncomfortable. Teach them about touches that's appropriate and not appropriate. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Wisdom and Roy Anthony for
Thank you.
blessing us and gracing us with their stories. It was not an easy share, but it was definitely necessary. So we're gonna have another one. This has been the season finale. Until
Okay.
next time, my sugarfoot sweet faces. Roy, don't leave us yet. I'll holler
Okay.
back, y'all.